I wanted to talk to you about another person you collaborated with this evening. You brought in a new disc called Free Association, Jim Hall and Geoffrey Keezer. Tell us a little bit about this and the tune that we're going to play from it.
Well, my association with Jim Hall began actually when I was playing in Ray Brown's trio, and Ray would sometimes bring in special guests. So one night in Italy, we played a concert with, now check this out, it was our trio plus Milt Jackson and Gary Burton on vibes.
Wow.
Two vibes.
Two vibes.
And Jim Hall. And that was really cool, you know, just to hear Bags and Gary play together. And then Jim hired me for, we made a record called Panorama that was recorded on live at the Village Vanguard in the mid-'90s. And then Jim just called me up about a year and a half ago and said, hey, you want to play some duets? I got this gig in New York for a week. Let's get together and play. I said, sure. He said, well, just show up about 4:30. We'll run through a couple things. The gig starts at 9. I said, great, whatever. Sounds like fun. And the interesting thing about playing with Jim, and you know, I'm aware, of course, of the you know, great historic recordings he made with Bill Evans. I'm such a musical sponge that I purposely didn't listen to those records, just because I knew if I did, I'd be in trouble. I'd try to play like Bill, and
Right.
I'd end up trying, you know, sounding like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I'm purposely not going to listen to this, just because it's my own fault, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The really fun thing about playing with Jim and challenging at the same time is, you know, of course, if you listen to me play, you know that I tend to fill up a lot of space and I use a lot of notes sometimes. Jim's thing is he likes as much space as possible, almost to the point where sometimes when I'm playing with him, I feel like I'm just going to vaporize. But you know, he's such a nice guy. He'll say, he came out after the first night we played together. He came up to me and said, "Hey Jeff, man, you know, you really sound great, but do you think you could just give me a little more space? You know, just back off a bit." I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Next set, I backed off a little bit more, and he said, "Yeah, man, you know, it's great, but you know, I think, you know, if you could just kind of thin it out a little bit, that would be great." So over the course of the week, I kept thinning and backing off, almost to the point where I felt like, God, if I, you know, don't play anything, if I play any less, I'm just going to disappear entirely. It was like existential crisis I was having. But the experience of working with him has enabled me, or I've learned just how much space is available in music. And you know what, if I don't play for even 3 or 4 choruses, it's fine. I can come in and just play. Jim likes the contrapuntal thing. He likes just single lines sort of playing off each other. It's a completely different kind of piano playing. I put the lid all the way down and play with the soft pedal down all night, pianissimo practically the entire night. So I'm really holding back, but at the same time, it's just playing with Jim has completely expanded my mind. You know, he is not a conservative player by any means. He's into 12-tone rows. He's really an old-school avant-garde cat.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But while we were playing the last track, a listener called in and requested this song that I have been playing off and on for the last 10 years or so by a Japanese guy named Ryuichi Sakamoto. The song's called Bibo no Aozora, which is Japanese. The title means beautiful blue sky. And I thought, you know, how perfect that a listener would request this song, because it's actually the track I was thinking of playing.
Excellent. Well, that's great. Well, then let's check it out.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that, and we'll play another tune from Live in Seattle too.
Great.
All right. So we're with Geoffrey Keezer this evening on the New Jazz Thing. My name is Vince Outlaw. Thanks for tuning in with us. And here's some new music with Geoffrey and Jim Hall on the New Jazz Thing on Jazz 88.3. Yeah, it's obviously already different.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim, he can be very out there. There was a disc I think he did with, I'm trying to think if it was Enrico Pieranunzi, that
Yes,
in the last couple of years we got in the library here. That was on Jazz 88.3. Yeah, it's obviously already different.
Yeah.